In this quick lesson, I want to refactor our componentDidMount lifecycle method to utilize the async await syntax. I think this option makes the code a little bit easier to read, but remember, the async await syntax is just syntactic sugar over this promise-based syntax. So it's all going to be promises no matter which way you write the code. The async await code, I think, is just easier to understand for many developers. So as we know, we need to make our function or method async, and the way we do that is by adding an async keyword in front of the method name. So here it's going to be async. Now, this allows us to use the await keyword in front of our asynchronous operation somewhere in our method. That, of course, is going to be our get URL logic right here. So I'm just going to cut this, and right here I'm going to paste that, and I'm going to await that. And as we know from our example in the JavaScript file, this is going to take some time, and then it's going to resolve to give us that same response object that we have right here in our function in our former implementation. So I'm going to assign this to a const called response. And then I can simply remove this line and remove this line, save that, and now we're back to the exact place. So we have our asynchronous operation right here. We take that response object, we take its data property, that gives us the actual array of 5 employee objects. Then we call setState to save the state, update the state, which triggers a re-render. And of course, the benefit here, as you can see, is there's less nested code. There's less callback functions. It just reads much more easily from top to bottom. I think it's just easier to process for a lot of developers. So this is the async operation. On the right-hand side, I can show you that everything stays the same. So once again, if I refresh the page, we can see here we are making the request to employees. So everything is working as expected. We are still hitting the same endpoint on our backend, which of course is our JSON server. And all of our filter logic remains exactly the same. So for example, DWI and PAM, everything is working just fine. So this is the alternative async await syntax. It's just another way that we can write the logic in our componentDidMount lifecycle method. So with that, I will see you in the next lesson.